Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, I'm ScrapMan, bringing you another episode of Trailmakers, and today we're going to be trying to build a hover bike. Now, as you can see around me, we have an assortment of a lot of the recent creations we've worked on. We've been experimenting a lot with self-balancing, as seen by the unicycle, the pogo stick, the Segway, and the dirt bike over here, and we've been experimenting a lot with hovering, as seen by the hover ball, the hover wheels, and the hoverboard. And I've been getting a lot of comments to basically combine hovering with self-balancing to make a hover bike. So that is what we're going to be trying to do in today's episode, and there's a lot of things I can see not really working about it, but that's going to be the fun of it. Running into issues, trying to solve them, and seeing what comes of that. So I gotta delete these now. Oh, looks like we have a winner. It shows the Segway out of all of them. So all of those vehicles you just saw, I did make videos on. So if you want to see any of those, feel free to search for those on YouTube. So here's the dirt bike that I made. So I'm thinking that, oh, there it goes. Okay. I'm thinking that the hover bike is probably going to be smaller than this because I'm going to try to use the hover pad on its own as a singular wheel. And as you can see, the hover pad is much smaller than the wheels themselves. So I think we can kind of build a smaller frame around that, which would also make the seat itself feel a little bit more realistic. I hope this is gonna work. I don't know. And also we want our creation to be lighter in general because we're using hover pads. But I'm also gonna use the go-kart seat for this one because I think that's the most realistic looking seat to be sitting on top of a motorbike. So let's start with our first prototype and let's get building. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to prototype number 1. I don't really know how this thing is going to work. I just put thrusters in it, and I have not used them yet. But we have the balancing down so far. As you can see, we lift up, we balance, and I've also implemented the leaning method into it. So if I try to turn left, you can see we lean to the left. If I try to turn right, we lean to the right. And now I'm going to press W and go forward, and maybe we'll have a hover bike already. I don't know. There we go. Oh, that's a terrible start. What? Oh, I think I know what's wrong. There we go. I did not change the controls of the balancing mechanism, so W is making us tilt. So I'll actually change this to, I guess, E and Q. So now we can do it manually if we wanted to. But we should be able to go forward now. There we go. And turning does absolutely nothing. Just like I presumed. Oh, there. Okay, we're surviving. We're surviving so far. But I gotta be honest, so far, hover bike is more successful than I expected. We haven't put all the mechanisms that we need in quite yet. But that shouldn't be too difficult, actually. So now there's two different things that we can do here for turning. One is we could just do the typical rotating helicopter servo turning, which we're gonna need if we wanna like do tricks in the air. And two, I kinda wanna actually add steering onto the front here. Bear with me for a second. So if I add a large steering hinge right there, and then what I could do is put wings on the front and the back, so that way when the front end turns to the left, the wind will hopefully catch the wings, causing our vehicle to turn. Okay, I've actually something interesting is already happening. I just went to do a quick test to see if the turning worked the way that I was hoping it would, and it does in the front there, you can see. And check out what already happens. It seems like the aerodynamics apply to just these normal parts here, because when I turn to the right, it now actually turns me. So I'm actually super impressed with that. Oh, but we have that issue. That's the only issue that we're having right now is, I don't really know exactly what that is. You know what I think? I think I have to make the tilt less extreme, because when I'm tilting into the turn, well, in that case, it's doing fine. But then when I reverse it, it gets a little bit extreme. I don't know how I feel about this yet. I think I need to add in some reverse, though. Another way that we could have steering without aerodynamic wings or anything is just have one thruster on the front. So that way, when the front end turns, it'll offset the angle of thrust to actually turn me as well. And that could totally work just like this. All right, so here we are. We got our turning now with our thruster in the front there. We've also got a little bit of a reverse thruster. We can't turn while we reverse because there's only a single thruster doing it. But as far as forward turning goes, as long as you're giving it gas, turning seems to be not too much of an issue. The only issue I've been running into is when I tilt a little bit too much, you can see I grind on the ground like that. So now there's another thing I want to try here. I don't know if this is going to help or hurt, but I kind of want to add another set of hover pads that are kind of angled outwards from the wheel. So when we angle, hopefully the side hover pads will then kind of push against the ground. I don't really know what to expect with that though. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, like the turning might interfere with that, but I kind of wanted to see how it looks anyway, so let's give it a try. Oh, this actually looks pretty cool. And the turning, I don't know. Oh, I gotta actually change the turning off of these. This may actually be a reasonable solution. This is feeling good. This ain't too bad. I mean, it's kind of like the turning is actually a little bit sensitive. Or actually, the turning itself isn't sensitive, but stopping turning is the opposite of sensitive. It's hard to stop turning, basically, is what I'm saying. So I keep tail fishing. Or fishtailing. Tail fishing. I can't speak today. Okay, so I don't know if I like the thruster method. I think I'm gonna add wings to this thing. It might add some cool aesthetics to it anyway. And hopefully it'll allow us to stay more on a straight trajectory rather than fishtailing all over the place like that. All right, I don't know if this is gonna work. It was kind of hard to find places in the front. I also added some handlebars because I realized those were missing. But the rear ones I think look great. The front ones, I had to put them under there. I don't know if that's gonna work or not. But actually what I want to do is, let's just see how it goes for now. Maybe we'll move the front thruster. I don't know. We're just gonna see how this is going so far. Well, so far staying straight seems to be much easier. Turning, ooh, that's weird. our nose seems to be really digging into the ground, which makes sense because our center of thrust, whoops. Our center of thrust, I'm pretty sure, is below or above our center of mass. Oh boy. This is not easy. Like I say, staying straight definitely feels easier, but I'm just not so sure about what's happening in the front there. So I do have my my hover pads on max power, which means the lowest distance. But we're definitely have some issues. You know what? I'm just gonna get rid of the front thruster. We're just gonna see if that helps. However, the front thruster is what's holding front wings. So you know what? Let's just turn off the front thruster. Front thruster does not activate. Let's see if it makes a difference. All right, well, I'm actually really surprised at how well turning is going without the front thruster. So I guess it's useless as far as turning goes. However, we're still having the issue with our nose kind of digging into the ground there. So there is that. All right, time to do some fine tuning. I feel like the distance of the sensors could go down a little bit because as our vehicle gets heavier, now the suspension is under more compression, which means that we're technically a little bit lower to the ground now. There we go. That's feeling okay. I do want to delete that front thruster because I feel like that might be weighing down the front end just a little bit more than we want it to. So let's delete it and we have to replace it with something else. Oh, no, we don't. We can, now it's easy. Now we just move these wings right in there. I feel like they're almost like little feeler things from like bottom feeder fish. All right, let's see how this feels now. Try some turning. Ooh. And it's not feeling good with the turning. Oh, I'm gonna try something interesting here. We're gonna add, another hover pad on the front this time though. All right, definitely looks interesting. And we can probably do that to the back too, just for kicks, just to have it be symmetrical. But let's see if this helps us with our nosedive issue. Okay. This is actually feeling not so bad. Man, there's like weird little, it's like a magnet almost. Like once you reach like a certain distance, it just starts to do a weird, it has like a push effect. I feel like we're almost on the verge of like an actual working hover bike that feels good. And right now we have a working hover bike that doesn't feel optimal. All right, so it's time to make some adjustments. What I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna move the sensors to be a little bit higher up, but closer in towards the body. So they're gonna be right here instead. So that means we're gonna have to change the distance. Let's just do a 2-meter estimate right now. See how this feels. All right, this feels really good. All right, let's see what kind of difference this might make. All right, now we're having an issue. That's weird. Now we're having an issue with turning. We were not having an issue with turning before I did that. Okay, now things are working. I didn't change anything, but things are starting to work now. All right, well, let's try our first jump here. I have no control in the air, by the way. Like, I can't really control my, That's what I was expecting. I didn't give myself any type of, like, spin control in the air. Everything is just on the ground right now. Actually, the only thing I can do, which I'm not doing a good job of right now, is, spinning the long way, like a barrel roll. So let's try that. All right, and barrel roll. It just fell off like it was nothing. And we lost all of our sound, apparently. Oh, it's so serene out here now. This is feeling really cool. I love the way this thing is looking, by the way. All right, so we have this kind of experiment here, but just for the sake of making things a little bit simpler, I am going to add a rotating servo on the bottom to function when I want to spin. That way, if I'm not going and I want to spin in place, I'll at least have that option. All right, so now we have the servo on the bottom there. You can kind of see it. There's a little bit of colliding happening because there's stuff so close to the sides, but it's not spinning so fast that it's going to be an issue, I don't think. So check this thing out so far. I feel like, should we add a back hover pad to match the front one? I don't know. I kind of like the way it looks. It kind of gives it a directional feel with just the one in the front. Because I feel like a back one isn't going to do that much. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, we just landed. No way. I did not expect to land that. All right, let's see if we can go up this ramp. And I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to explode. That's what we're going to do. All right, well, let's make this thing look a little bit better. We'll improve the aesthetics of it, and then we'll just put it to the test and see what it can or can't do. All right, I think I'm satisfied with what I got so far. I basically changed the pipes to gray, added some stuff onto like the top, some headlights, some tail lights, and I also added this kind of nose thing in here, which I thought just looked cool. I don't know, it's a hover bike. I figured a more futuristic kind of design to it could serve well. But let's see how this thing functions now. Hopefully the added weight isn't too much of a burden on it. And it seems okay so far. It's not the hoveriest hover bike, but it's a hover bike. It doesn't have to work great. It just has to work. So let's head up this ramp here. It'll be the first test, I guess. See if we can actually get up the ramp. Now that front hover pad's really helping us here. Okay. Oh, we do not have a lot of thrust. I'm noticing for the first time. It's adding up though. It's adding up. Once we get the initial momentum, it seems to multiply a little bit. All right, we're almost there. Almost there. And over the top. We haven't exploded yet. This must be some kind of record. All right, this is a hovercraft, so we don't have a lot of traction going around turns. Something definitely to remember. Okay, that was close. That was definitely close. We're gonna keep going though. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Do not go too fast around the turns. Okay, I don't know where I'm going necessarily. I guess I'll try to go off the edge. Look at this. It's... Oh. I was gonna say, look how good we're doing at going off the edge, but even we couldn't do that right. We couldn't even do that right. I'm trying to reverse myself here. All right, turning will probably work. There we go. Okay. All right, we got this. We got this. No problem. That was close. That was close. We almost nailed that. Water. We have to try water. I feel like this thing isn't going that fast, but we just gotta try. There's no reason not to try. All right, here we go. I probably should have not... Yeah, that wasn't the best start. Okay, now here we go. I don't know if there's like an official speed we need to be going for the water, but... Oh! It's working. It's working. I'm trying to turn to the right. Wait a minute. Does our I just realized something. Our sensors do not detect water, and this is working. We might not need balance at all because of what we've done with the side hover things. If this is true, I just blew my own mind with my own creation. This is actually really awesome. This thing works way better on the water. So much better on the water than on the ground. All right, we have to go back to land. I'm gonna delete my sensors. I'm gonna save this first, but then I'm gonna delete my sensors, and we're gonna see if we can do this. All right, here we go. Going back onto the ground. And yeah, there go the sensors. So the sensors were totally not even doing anything on the water. Okay. All right, let's save this design. This is good so far. And now I'm just gonna delete these sensors and let's see what happens. Okay, here we go. Hover bike with no balancing sensors. And so far it's working. I mean, turning is actually a little bit more difficult. Oh, that's bad. That's where the sensors would come in handy, although not over the water, technically. Needs more testing on the ground, though. All right, ooh, the loop. We have to try the loop as well. But let's focus on how it does without the sensors. Like, and the interesting thing is when I lean, it seems to actually lean the whole bike in that direction too, which makes sense because my seat has leaning properties as well. So you know what? This is starting to work. Let's, I want to see if we can do the loop. We're just a little bit drifty right now, having some trouble lining up. I cannot believe this thing works this well without sensors. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh, that was bad. That was really bad. Hover pads are so explosive. All right, here we go. Just gunning it. Just gunning it. And... oh, we just slowed down right away there. Yeah, that's not working. I don't think this thing is capable of doing the... nope. This thing is not capable of doing the loop. But you know what it can probably do? That jump. Let's do that. Okay, now we just have to stay straight, which is probably easier said than done. Oh, no, 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 don't fall off. Don't fall off. Please don't fall off. Oh, come on, come on, come on. We can do this. We got this. We're going good. No, 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 no. What was that? What was that? What was that? Stop that. Stop that. Go, go, go. Oh, dang it. That was so close. Oh, man. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to fly back over here. We're going to try this again. Here we go. We're just going to maintain a consistent trajectory here. Hopefully we... Oh, we're going really, really slow, aren't we? Nice and strong. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was awesome. That was awesome. And we're still going. Uh-oh. Here's where it ruins. Everything gets ruined now. All of our dreams do not come true. All right, so next up, we're just going to bomb down this hill here, see what kind of speeds we can get up to on the hovercraft. 160, 170, maybe reach 180. Nope, looks like 177. Oh boy, this is where everything falls apart. Literally, that's where everything falls apart. All right, but something that we haven't really tried is some actual tricks and stuff. So why don't we go up on this ramp here? I'm going to try to go up to the ramp, use our turning capabilities to kind of turn back down and see if we can just survive something as basic, which is really not that basic, but just to see if we can survive this. Okay, ready? Gentle, up the ramp. We can't get enough speed to go up the ramp. And down the ramp. It's a hover bike, okay? It's not a stunt bike. It's a hover bike. And you know what? This hover bike doesn't even need auto stabilization. It is naturally auto stabilizing. You know, it's a stunt bike now. I take everything I said back. It's now a stunt bike. What are we doing here? Can we go onto the water? Oh, guys. It's a stunt bike. I lied when I said it wasn't a stunt bike before. Clearly, this thing's a stunt bike. I mean, that's the whole purpose of this thing, isn't it? All right, but the fact that this thing works so great over water, I think, is the winner right here. So I'm going to say a hover bike was way more successful than I actually expected it to be. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys thought of the hover bike. Was there something that you would have liked to see me do with it that I didn't do in the episode? I just didn't think of it? Or do you think we've... do you think we put this thing through the ringer enough? So clearly this came from you guys in the comments. Tons of people were suggesting hover bikes, so leave some suggestions for more stuff that you'd like to see in Trailmakers. And if I think it'll make a fun video, I'm definitely gonna try to put it on the channel. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future content. This has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.